Now we're going to talk tonight about Pakistan's common policy platform. Now, seeing what's happening in Penang at the moment, you wonder why we want to talk about a common policy platform when there's obviously no common policy approach to how Penang is being governed. But fortunately, your chief minister, to his credit, has taken it all in his stride. And of course, the other important thing is that, the present problem has nothing to do with intra-party quarrel. It's really more to do with two individuals who don't seem to be able to get on with the government of Penang.
Two delinquent individuals.
All right. I didn't say it, but I will repeat. Someone else said two delinquents. Now, many of you are wondering whether this common policy platform that we have put together will stay in place, because obviously we can't expect too much to happen. It's early days yet, but it is really marvelous that three disparate parties, disparate, not desperate, parties have managed somehow to agree on a few very fundamental issues. Anil mentioned four of them. Now, I'm not going to go into any great detail, because I am really, in spite of my age, relatively new to party politics. So I'm going to ask my two colleagues, Sewa Rasa and Dr. Zulkifli, to deal with the nitty-gritty, if you like, of the common concerns. Now, a long, long time ago, once upon a time, long before BN UMNO took power and mismanaged this country of ours, there was a wise old Chinese philosopher who said that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Now, for PAS, PKR and DAP, the first somewhat tentative step has been taken with the holding of this historic convention in Shah recently, which really marked the struggle together under a common united banner for a new democratic and dynamic Malaysia, fit for all, not just fit for one section of our community, but fit for us all. So now this was a major step forward. Now, can you imagine, before that, we all speaking in tongues. We were not speaking in one language that was understood by all. But for the first time, PAS, PKR, and DAP had put aside their long-entrenched biases, their long-entrenched positions, which seemed as if they were not going to be able to do anything about for the sake of this country. But they met, inshallah, and they came with a common purpose, and that is to start on the basis that the future of this country would depend really on a two-party system. And DAP, PKR, and PAS, as you know, are multi-racial parties, unlike BN. So I think this is very important. I, for one, am opposed to race-based parties. And I can see the day when we will be fighting our elections, not on the basis of racial politics, but really on plans and programs and issues, rather than on whether the candidate is a Malay, Chinese, or Indian, or Kadazan, or whatever. Now, the meeting in Shah Alam was historic in many ways, because also, I think all of us who have anything to do with the party's concern have come to realize that 50 years after independence, we are still a country without a united nation. We have a country, all the physical features, the boundaries and what have you, that make up a recognizable country. But can you say truthfully that we have a united Malaysian nation? Well, we get along quite well. But if you analyze the way we live in this country, we actually live our separate existence. Malays in their own community, the Chinese basically in their own community, in the Indians, again, living within their own community, and there is very little apart from the workplace where people tend to work together, but outside of the workplace there is hardly any contact. But we cannot really wait for another 100 or 200 years for us to say, yes, we are all in it together. I'm not saying that you must give up your cultural affiliations, that you can never do. You can adopt any nationality, but if you're Malay, you will always remain a Malay culturally. If you're Chinese, you will always remain a Chinese. And this is why I think we have to recognize that cultural diversity is an important part of nation building. No one culture in our society today, no one race should even think of dominating the other cultures, the other races. So this is what we stand for. It's not, so much to do with this common platform. The common platform is really a means of bringing us together. But beyond that, I think we should be looking to the day when we not only have a credible, reliable, honest, alternative government, but we also have a government that puts the whole issue of race, by then I hope, on the back burner.